Hello and welcome to Everyday Tarot, your daily dive into the divine wisdom of the tarot. I'm your host, Camille A. Saunders, healer, tarot enthusiast, and professional witch. And today I'm answering the question, how do I shuffle the cards? Whether you're a seasoned tarot reader or just starting to explore, this podcast offers daily insights, intuitive messages, and practical advice drawn from the cards. Each episode is designed to help you connect with your inner wisdom, find clarity in your decisions, and tap into the energy of the universe. Tune in every day, Monday through Friday, for fresh perspectives and empowering guidance from the tarot as interpreted by me. If you love the show, the best way to support it for free is by listening daily, leaving a review, and subscribing or following in your favorite podcast app. I have a fun offer coming up where I'm going to be doing a 12-week Tarot for Transformation live course starting at the end of September. We'll be deep diving the first 12 of the major arcana cards all together as we embody archetypes and learn how to transform ourselves through the tarot. So the link to check out the details for that is in the show notes. If you're interested in crafting your own tarot cards, maybe you find your creativity coming back to you as we enter fall and as summer starts to wrap up, you can go ahead and get my full workshop, which includes an hour-long recording with my step-by-step method, examples of the tarot cards I've created, journaling questions, and a PDF to walk you all through it for just $33. The link is in the show notes to purchase that now. I've updated my Patreon benefits, so if you want an individual card pulled for you once a month live on the podcast, you can join the Everyday Tarot Patreon family at the Lovers level. I do new moon and new moon's collective tarot readings live every month on YouTube, Instagram, streaming, and they go there permanently afterwards. So that is where your individual card will get pulled, is at the end of the collective tarot reading if you join the Lovers level on the Patreon. And if you'd like to support the podcast even further, you can get a one-time individual 5-card reading in addition to all the other benefits and any sort of programs or workshops or booklets or workbooks that I create you get for free at that level as well. And if you didn't catch my latest new moon collective tarot reading, the link will be in the show notes for that as well. For the replay, I did the new moon in Virgo on August 21st collective tarot reading, and so you can find that as well. If you're local to me, you can check out my Let's Talk Tarot meetup group. Come chat with other tarot enthusiasts, bring your favorite decks, and play tarot and oracle decks all together. If you're interested in celebrating the full moon, I'm holding full moon women's circles for the rest of 2025. You can join my colleague Izzy and I under the glow of the full moon for an evening of connection, reflection, and ritual. We'll be meeting at Thresholds Collective in Tacoma the first Sunday of the month to welcome in the full moon together for the rest of 2025. So the next date will be October 5th, then November 2nd, and December 7th. If you're interested in joining my newsletter list, when you do so, you will get my free PDF with the 2025 5-card tarot spread I created just for you at the beginning of this year. My weekly newsletter always has the most up-to-date information on upcoming events, presentations, musings, and more. And if you don't already know, I am a sex and relationships therapist and coach, seeing clients virtually all over from my home office. I love working with queer, poly, and witchy clients, so if you'd like to work with someone that doesn't judge you, is witchy just like you, and helps you learn how to deal with anxiety, chronic pain or illness, communication issues, self-advocacy, and sex, head to my website and book a free consultation now to start your journey. You can find the links for any of these offers in the show notes or on my website, CamilleASaunders.com/everydaytarot, in addition to the images of the cards I pull for each episode. All right, so welcome to season 14, where I'm answering all of your frequently asked tarot questions. If you haven't listened to my other seasons yet, you can check those out. If you're new to tarot, you can check out season 1 that goes all through tarot basics. What else? Season 4, I talked tarot and pop culture. Season 10, I talked tarot and witchcraft. 11, tarot and plant allies. And 12, I talked about tarot and animals. Like I said, we're on to season 14, where I'm answering all your frequently asked tarot questions. And today I'm answering the question, how do I shuffle the cards? So at my latest full moon circle, I had someone sort of ask me this. They were new to tarot. I don't think they had their own deck. And I guess it's like, I have a hard time with it because I'm like, I have the way that I personally shuffle, and then I feel like there's the way that works for you. So, I guess I'll share how I personally shuffle, which is that I grew up playing with decks of cards, like playing games with decks of cards, a standard deck, and with my family. And so I learned to shuffle, like bridge shuffle. So, right, you shuffle one way and then you do the like bending the cards into a bridge to shuffle to kind of bend them back the other way. And that's pretty much how I shuffle my tarot cards. So I sort of do that. I usually shuffle at least 3 times, although it depends. Generally, if I haven't picked them up and I'm starting fresh for like that day or that session, yeah, I shuffle at least 3 times. Then I usually cut the deck with my left hand, place half the deck or, about on one side, and then I pull from the deck in my right hand. And usually I pull, cards consecutively from that. So if I'm doing a long spread, I pull all the cards from that. If I'm going one at a time, I hold it in my hand and pick with my left hand. But there are definitely lots of different ways to do this. Some people would say that the way I shuffle cards is an abomination because it does bend the cards. Again, having grown up playing card games, I really like a well-worn in deck. I do not like a fresh deck of cards that is so slippery. So for me, bending the cards is like part of breaking them in. And again, different deck sizes will lend to different types of shuffling. If you have very small cards or very large cards, or if they're more square or like different shapes, circular, I would say generally tarot cards are about the size of like an index card, which I'm gonna look up the size now. 3 inches by 5 inches. Let me see if they have it in metric for my metric folks. Okay, yeah, it's not it's not an easy measurement, but yeah, so for me it'd be 3 by 5 inches. In millimeters, it would be 76.2 by 127 millimeters. That is like the standard one that I'm used to doing when I do my tarot card crafting events. I buy index cards and that is what we collage on, because they're about the right size. Yeah, so like I said, some tarot decks are larger or smaller, so it might just even if you tried to shuffle like I do, and you know how to do that, it might not lend very well to it. I do have some smaller decks that are like mini tarot decks that are truly I'm trying to think how big they are. Like the size of like 2 postage stamps, like very small. So those I don't think I could bridge shuffle them. So the other way that I often see to shuffle is that you hold the deck in one hand and you sort of pull cards or kind of move them from one hand to the other. Some people are very used to this and good at it. Again, people have different ways. Sometimes if someone else is reading for you, they might hand you the deck to shuffle or at least touch it or cut the deck. If I'm in person, I will sometimes have other people cut the deck if it's a reading for them. But I would kind of say that everyone does it differently. So that is why I'm cautious about sharing what I actually do. I'm willing to, but I want you to find what works for you. If you're like, Camille, I don't know how to bridge shuffle, that's never gonna happen. I don't wanna bend my cards. I have small cards, big cards, I have small hands or big hands. Find what works for you. And especially energetically too. And so, yeah, when you get a new deck, you can try different types of shuffling. I was looking in my Bewitching the Elements book by Gabriella Herstick to see kind of what she shares about. But a lot of books don't even really talk about shuffling. They just say shuffle. And like I said, like common traditions that if you're reading for someone else or someone else's cards, like they shuffle it, or maybe they cut the deck. But again, you kind of hold intention in your mind, shuffle however it feels comfortable for you or however you're able to with that deck, and stop when you feel ready. Like I said, I then cut the deck and then pull from my right hand and kind of flip them up from there. I would also say that like sometimes I do it differently. So I did when, like I said, I was at this full moon circle and someone was asking me, I did try to actually like talk through what I did. But again, now it feels very natural to me. So I'm usually not even thinking about it. But yeah, so like I said, other ways are like moving the cards like from one hand to the other. It's kind of hard for me to explain, but you probably know what I'm talking about. If you ever, like if you want to watch other tarot readers do card pulls or like how they shuffle, you can find folks on YouTube that literally just have the camera like on their hands and cards. Just look up like tarot reader, tarot spreads. You could look up like any recent moon stuff and probably find things. I used to have some folks that I would like watch often, and it is cool to see how other people do it. Some people like mix decks too, especially if they're doing that. You can always watch like a tarot unboxing if you want to get to know like a specific deck. But yeah, the ones where actually people are doing live readings, if you get to see their live shuffling, that's like very cool. So that is my brief explanation of how I personally shuffle and other ways to find how you shuffle. And again, I would say I'm starting to interview some guests on my podcast now, and it is a thing I'm asking them or that they're sharing, and it's very cool to see like what people choose to do. So let's dive in and see what the cards have to say today on this topic of finding the way that we shuffle. So I'm going to be pulling a card from the Norse Goddess Rune Oracle by Rebecca Joy Stark and illustrated by Shannon McLeod. I don't know. I need to figure out how to say their name. All right. And this is my newest deck. It is an Oracle deck. So yeah, I shuffled twice, I think. So I didn't actually shuffle 3 times. And then I cut the deck. I put half to the side with my left hand. I hold the rest with my right hand. And then I actually like take the card from the bottom and flip it up. I keep getting this card. I pulled Hagaluz or Hell, which is about chaos, destruction, and renewal. And it is basically like the goddess of hell in the Norse tradition. Whoops, that's the wrong book. Okay, and it is number 16 in this deck. All right, so Hel is the goddess of the underworld who accepts all who arrive at her gates. She is the daughter of Angrboda and Loki, banished to Helheimr simply because of her parentage. She is a goddess who cares for, nourishes, and provides a comfortable afterlife for those who have departed. She says, I am Hel, goddess of death, half beauty, half corpse. I cherish your last breath. Daughter of Loki, in the ice I reign true. May Hagalaz destroy what no longer serves you. So Hagalaz is the rune depicted on this card. It's the rune of chaos. It literally means hell, or hail, like the precipitation, the chunks of ice that fall from the sky, and it represents the brute force by which things are destroyed. It is the disruption of the day-to-day, breaking down routines and habits that no longer serve you. This rune brings an upheaval, upsetting the status quo for the purposes of realigning you and bringing you closer to your higher purpose. Perhaps you are in a state of flux or have felt that things are falling apart at the seams. Trust that this is breaking down unhelpful situations, thoughts, and behaviors. You're going through an immense period of transformation, which is providing opportunities to learn and grow. As with all natural phenomenon, Hagalaz can be savage and unpredictable, yet in the face of disaster, humanity has shown its incredible ability to rise up, band together, and rebuild. Like the phoenix rising from the ashes, you too will overcome this challenge and rise up stronger, wiser, and more resilient than ever. All right, transition, transformation, right? Going through upheaval, but for kind of like your greater good, your highest good. And I definitely do still feel like I'm in transition, upheaval. I'm finding my new routines as I've moved and thinking about those things. But all right. Well, if you'd like to join me on the journey of using the tarot for transformation, click on the link in the show notes to indicate your interest to get more info. We'll be together for 12 weeks of calls, like I said, and journaling to discover what happens when we want to transform our lives through the tarot. Links for the tarot decks I talk about will always be in the show notes and on my website if you'd like to look at them or purchase them. And thanks for joining me today on Everyday Tarot. Just as a reminder, the podcast comes out daily, Monday through Friday for all of 2025. You can email me, me@CamilleASaunders.com with your thoughts, questions, and more. I would love to hear about how do you shuffle? Are there any weird ways? Are there ways no one else has thought of that you've ever seen? I would love to hear about that. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye.